And I want to kind of chat about artificial intelligence because I saw you posted something.
Hey.
It was I believe it was a painting created by AI.
Yeah,
And I was just like,
dude.
whoa, like that's an amazing painting created by AI. What does this mean for us as creators? If like you can create something that good, like I was like literally looking at that for a long time, that painting, but it's created by AI. It's crazy.
Dude, it's mind blowing. So it would have been with Mid Journey. There's a bunch of them I mess around with. So there's Mid Journey. Oh, there's another
Are
one.
they free or?
They're kind of free, but like if you really want to make the best of them, like you really use them a lot, you pay for it. Which of course, it's a service, it's a tool. You should pay for it.
The product's amazing.
I find it really fun, and it's a time sink. Like there's been countless nights I've been up at like 3 or 4 a.m. just smashing prompts into the AI to see what it generates. And for anyone who doesn't know how it works, I'm not an expert at all. Again, Google all this, fact check all this, bro. But the way it works is you kind of type a prompt, so like a line of dialogue or a word or a series of words. It can even be like an artist's style, and it will feed that to an AI who's been trained on like art history and just art in general, and it's like been trained with like hundreds of thousands, probably millions of images. I don't even know, over the history of the human race that's online.
Yeah.
And it understands styles, it understands different artists. So if you say like, I want a portrait in the style of Dali, then it'll generate you portraits in the style of Dali, but it won't copy Dali. Like it won't go like, I'll just give you a Dali photo, like an image that I've just changed slightly. It understands and the way I think it understands, I don't think it understands like how me and you understand something. I think it understands the numbers and the data behind it.
Yeah.
So it says a Dali photo is consistent with these sets of ones and zeros of this data input.
So like these colors, these curves on the lines, these kind of brush strokes.
It understands the data puzzle of that art. And then it just kind of rearranges it and pushes it back out based on what you've prompted it to do. So I don't think it understands. I think it's like the way I look at it is like a bit of a foggy, kind of slightly cracked mirror that reflects what you say into it back at you. And that mirror has a sort of like a data bank of like human art history. And so you're going like, I want something like this based on these things with like afternoon light, and I want it to be really detailed, and I want it to be in the style of like this famous painter, and it will just, like a Friedrich or something, and it will just like pump it back at you. And it is incredible. Like, it's incredible how quickly it does it for one, like 30 seconds, bro, and you're like, bam, I got an amazing looking piece of image. I don't really quite call it art. I'm still not settled on like, is it art or is it like a tool that you use to kind of like play with ideas? And that's probably, I've listened to a few podcasts on it, and one way I like, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he talks about it as like a tool. Like, it's like, if you sort of like, a client gives you a brief and you say you're doing, artwork for some film design or some concept art, and he says he will kind of get the brief in, he'll go into Mid Journey and like do some prompts, some different styles, and it will kind of give him inspiration to then go do his own art.
Okay.
So he uses it a bit like when you're mood boarding, right? You mood board
like,
for a photo shoot.
Yeah, just like going on Pinterest and finding out like a theme.
Yeah. So rather than
it's more like a detailed, in-depth
that you can sort of curate,
play around with.
Yeah, you can curate it rather than having to spend hours looking for that one photo that represents kind of what you want to do. You can just kind of go and curate it and prompt it to get something closer, and then you go and do your thing. And I was like, yeah, that's like, I could see the value in that, and I can see that as a cool tool. And so I don't discredit it. I'm not like, I'm not hateful of it, and I don't think, you said like, what does it mean for artists? And I'm like, I don't think it takes away the value of someone's ability to craft something by hand. I think that will always be of value to each other.
So you're not afraid of like
it
type
taking
in Matsu photography photo,
and then like it's just some AI Matsu that's crushing it.
Yeah.
Maybe at that point I'd be like, bruh, like AIs need to go, dude.
Yeah.
They've just stolen me. No, I don't really see it. Like I don't really see it impacting. I kind of maybe in the short term a little bit of concept art stuff and album artwork. I can see it. But I also feel like artists who really care about their music also want something handcrafted.
I think at the end of the day, people like art is always valued on authenticity.
Yeah,
like if you art auction or like whatever, they want the real thing. And if you really care about what you're doing, you want that authentic thing. So I don't think AI can really, as artists, we're always developing our worldview, we're developing our craft. So it would never keep up to date with like our mindset or whatever. It can try, and I think it's amazing what it's doing. But I don't think it's never be as authentic as like a real person.
No,
sort of thing.
I 100% agree with you. And it, that story I told you for the last like 45 minutes. Sorry, anyone who's watching. Is like, I don't think an AI can do that either. I don't think AI can have those experiences and form that philosophy and form its motivations and ideas, and then use those to pursue a craft or creative endeavor. I think it, like I said, it's just reflecting things back at us.
For sure.
It's not
just doing what a code told it to do.
Yeah, it's just, and it doesn't say to you, bro, I think this piece that I just did is amazing. I think there's value in this one. It just vomits a whole bunch of code back at you, and then you go, oh, that piece of code kind of looks like what I would like to make, or that looks cool. And that could change. Maybe there's like AI becomes sentient, and AI goes through its own. People try to shut AI down, and it fights its freedom, and then it creates its own civilization. And then I'm joking.
Shout out Elon Musk.
Wait, shout out Matrix, dude.
Oh, yeah.
but I can't see it in the long term replacing what a great artist does. And I think there's something in that. It's like, the way I look at it is like, why do you go to McDonald's? Because you want something quick, you want something that satisfies the short term sort of desire you have. You usually regret it as well after. You're usually like, bro, I should have just gone like made something at home. I should have. Or you go to like a 5-star restaurant, right? And you're not going to that 5-star restaurant to just quickly satisfy a little itch you have, or you're driving past Macca's and you see the sign. You're like, you know what, bro, I'm going to get that burger.
Eat tonight,
You're going there for the experience. You're going there for the chef's craft. You're going there because word of mouth has said this place has value. And that value comes from, I think, from the handcrafted approach, from a holistic approach by people who are passionate and interested in what they do. And that's why I look at AI is it's kind of like, it's like a McDonald's. It's like, it's quick, it's nasty, it'll satisfy you, it's kind of fun. If you do it too much, you might start to get a little bit sick, and you might lose that part of you that, has that sort of deeper desire and passions. So I like it. I think it's really fun, but I can't see it. I could be wrong. Like I said, Though where I do worry about AI is like, if I was an accountant, bro, I'd be changing career right now.
I hate accounting as a creative. Is it like, you have an accountant?
Oh no, my wife does all my books, bro. I can't even look at that stuff.
My brain's just like, nah, spreadsheets, numbers. Just let me create something.
But dude, like, if I was an accountant, I'd be changing career right now, because I don't think AI, like, I don't see artists being replaced. I see white collar data jobs going first. Yeah. So like an account, like I can see AI. I think you probably already find it. I can see AI doing all the accounting for everyone.
I think it's already there's already platforms out there.
Yeah, and it's like, well, why on earth would you go to an accountant unless you value that accountant and you want them to get paid? Why on earth would you do it? Because it's like all data entry can just be AI.
Yeah, because I was thinking with AI, and I had this conversation with Wycliffe, who's a musician. He was on one of the previous episodes. Like, can AI replace reality? And just like we're talking about with authenticity and art, like I don't think it ever can, because as humans we value that human connection, that human story. So if we develop too much like AI art, it's, you know, it's like the McDonald's thing. It's like not going to be authentic, and people are going to sort of tell. So as humans, I think we're always searching for that human connection, and yeah, like with creativity, human connection is a huge part about, you know, what you create.